Today, I went to a Russian banya because Russians say it's so great. And what I understood of it is that you get super, super hot, and then you jump into a pool of cold water, and then you do that over and over again for 2 hours. I was curious as to like how much nudity there would be in this place, and the answer is a lot and everywhere. So, Russian banya. There are basically three rooms. The first room, there's like benches, and they bring you like food to eat and stuff if you order it. Second room is like where all the cold water is. And then the third room is the like, I guess, sauna room where it gets super hot. So, you walk into the first room and that's where everything is nice and it kind of looks like a restaurant except for like no tables in between the benches. And they're like, yeah, you just take your clothes off and put them on a bench. So I did. They brought me a nice little hat. So this is the hat, right? And it's made out of felt and it's supposed to protect your head from getting too overheated while you're in the banya. I got a hat because I wanted to fit in and be like the cool kids. And I also got some slippers or like little sandals for your feet because that's what Russians wear. And I wanted to be cool and fit in. And if I hadn't worn them, I would have stood out and looked weird. So, oh, and they give you like a towel, but it's actually like a sheet. So I just took off all my clothes and I wrapped myself in a sheet. Into the first room, you're supposed to take a shower and just wash off all the dirt. And so I did. And then you go into the hot room, and the internet told me that sauna is usually about 70 degrees Celsius. I know that 40 degrees Celsius is 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and so I have no idea how much that is. 70 is Fahrenheit. It's effing hot. You walk in there, and like after about 10 seconds, like your breathing becomes labored and it feels like you're running. Your heart starts beating a lot, but you got to sit there. The internet told me to not push myself as a first timer. And so what I would do is, since I was alone and I didn't really want to talk to anybody, I would just sit there and wait and like kind of watch for people who came in at the same time as me. And when they left, I would leave. And I think I would usually sit in there for about 10 to 12 minutes. And yeah, it's awful. You get so hot and so sweaty, and like every single one of your pores is sweating, and like you stand up and like you feel woozy. And the hat, like I took the hat off because I was wondering, like, does it really protect your head that much? It does. It really helps. So if you ever go to a bunny, you need to get the felt hat, or else you will pass out. Oh, also you get a birch branch, which is just like a big bushel of leaves, and you hit yourself with it, and you're supposed to soak it in the hot water for 10 like a half hour, and then you can use it to hit yourself. So I did that and I hit myself, and like, it's awful sitting there in the hot room, and it's even it's even worse. It just feels so awful hitting yourself with that branch, but like it feels good at the same time. So you do that. I sat in there for about 10 minutes, came out, and then um, jumped in a big pool full of ice cold water, and it felt awful. There are several ways to cover your body in ice cold water. You can jump into the pool, or they have like really tall tubs that you can jump into and dunk yourself in. And then they also have like buckets of cold water that you can dump on your head. I did all three. The worst was the bucket of cold water. I enjoyed most the pool. And you only have to be in the pool for 10 seconds. The internet said 10 seconds to a minute. So I got in there, and I was in there for probably about 5 seconds, and then I ran out. And yeah, so that was basically the process. And the internet also told me to take like about a 10-minute break between every time you do this process. So that's what I did. I don't know, like you get hot and sweaty and you're naked and surrounded by people, but it's like this horrible feeling, but really good at the same time. So it's probably a lot like giving birth to a human child. Felt really good after, felt really horrible during, but also good. It was, I don't know, it felt like exercise. Like exercise feels awful, but feels good. Kind of like that. And like my heart was pounding so hard. And yeah, I've just been tired afterward. I was in the Banya for about an hour and a half. I probably did the in and out thing about 5 or 6 times. Oh my gosh. The one I went into was called Saduni, whatever this. I did like the cheapest option, and I think because I didn't bring my own towel or hat or shoes, it was a little more expensive. It was about $40 to go, but it was definitely worth it, and it was cool.